What's up, guys? Aaron J. Dago here to talk about losing the significant for the insignificant, giving up what matters for what's not even important. You see, too often in our lives, we miss out on what's really significant, like missing prayer time with God, not taking someone we love out on a date, and not smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm. But not only is this true for us today, it was also true all the way back in the Bible whenever Jacob and Esau were born. Let's look at a story from their lives. These were two twin brothers, and Esau liked to go outside and hunt. He was his dad's favorite, but Jacob liked to stay inside and cook and hang out with his mom. So one day Jacob's at the house cooking a stew, or had he been from South Louisiana like me, he'd have been making a gumbo, right? And his brother Esau went out hunting. He was out all day. He comes home tired and he's super hungry. So Esau walks in and smells the food and he says, "Yo, Jacob, hook me up with a bowl, man. I'm starving." And Jacob says, "Hey, I got you. It's on the house. I'm gonna give you this bowl of food. All I want you to do is give me your rights as the firstborn son in exchange for this meal." Because you see, they were twins, but Esau came out first, which makes him the firstborn. And in that culture during that time, all the inheritance of the family went down to the firstborn son. So what Jacob was saying was, he's like, I'm going to give you this food, but I want you to give me the rights as the firstborn son so that I get all the inheritance. Esau then says, "Well, what good is all this inheritance to me if I'm so hungry I'm going to die if I don't get enough food right now?" Exaggerating his temporal need in that moment, and says, "You know what? Fine, you got it. Take the birthright. Just give me the food." So then they agree, and watch what the Bible says about it in Genesis 25, verse 34. "Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and lentil stew. Esau ate the meal, then got up and left. He showed contempt for his rights as the firstborn." So the Bible specifically indicates that he ate the food, got his little tummy full, but that he showed contempt for what really mattered most. This is a prime example of somebody losing the significant for something insignificant. Esau decided to give up what mattered most for something that didn't matter at all. So I want to ask you two questions. Number one, what are you giving up in your life right now? Is it time with your children? Is it building a new skill? Is it growing in God? Is it expanding your ministry? What is it that you are missing out on in life? Now, the second question is, what are you giving it up for? Is it to see the latest update on someone else's social media page? Is it a mindless evening of binge watching TV shows? Maybe a hobby that has now become your lifestyle? Like, what are we giving up that matters? And what are we giving it up for that doesn't? So we have to figure out two things. And the first comes from something I heard. It was an old lady who was speaking in a church, and she said, "How you spend your days is how you spend your life." And she expounded on the idea that we don't just live a destiny all of a sudden out of thin air, that it is what we do today, throughout the week, throughout the month, that ends up becoming a lifetime. So the two things we need to figure out, first off, is what does God want us to do with our lifetime? Because understanding that, we can work from the end all the way back to the beginning and figure out, what is God's will for me to do today? What do I need to be focused on this week that will add up to this month, which will in turn become this year that I can stack up upon next year? In other words, what are the significant things in life that matter most that I'm really supposed to be dedicating myself to? Then secondly, what are we going to do about that? Are we willing to prioritize what is a priority? Or will we do like Esau and give up the significant for something so insignificant? The choice is up to us, but we have the option to either live a life of meaning and purpose focused on what truly matters, or we can mindlessly give ourselves over to days and weeks and months of constantly doing things that don't even matter at all. So thank you so much for watching. I'd love to give you even more content through the books I've published, so I've linked them in the description below. You can grab whichever one would be the best one for you at this time of life. And do be sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications bell to stay updated with all the new videos. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one together.